Haikyuu has countless moments that can make me uncontrollably cry, not just small tears, but full-on streams. Before I began writing the script, I watched some clips for inspiration, so now I'm writing this through red eyes that I've cleared tears from too many times already. But Haikyuu is my favorite work of fiction because of things like that, but I never paid as much attention to the endings. I can call scenes to mind that can bring me to tears, but I never noticed the endings are kind of incredible in their own way. So here I am to tell you the beauty of Haikyuu's ending songs. The first ending for Haikyuu focuses solely on Hinata's progression, from the lonely stand at the court in middle school to the team that would make up his high school career. The isolation he felt not having anyone to help him succeed in volleyball is finally ended once he enters Karasuno. And so he runs with it, with the new chance, full of energy, shining just beyond the horizon. His improvement is so rapid he struggles to keep up. Sometimes his inadequacy hurts him, but he pushes right on through the tears to enthusiastically run towards that horizon. And that energy is infectious and inspires the team to run with him towards that uncertain future. If the first ED showed us Hinata's passionate, energetic approach to volleyball, the second ending shows us Kageyama's solitary, diligent improvement. We never see another character in this ED, just Kageyama practicing on his own, serving by himself, running himself to exhaustion before resting. He centers himself after the rest and gets right back onto it. He stops just to breathe before dedicating himself to more practice. This is the king of the court, the man who stood alone on the court. He continues to rise alone, but the CD shows signs of growth. Kageyama gets hit by a volleyball, and instead of scowling like an angry beast, he looks back at this unknown figure with a sense of happiness. I don't know if that's possible in reality, but it's an ending song, so it doesn't need to be fully realistic. For both the endings in Season 1, they paint a nice contrast of Hinata and Kageyama, both are protagonists for the story. They both absolutely adore volleyball, but their love for it manifests in different ways. Hinata has this infectious passion that engulfs those on his team. You can't help but feel inspired to keep pushing whenever you see Hinata's passion for volleyball. He just won't let you get complacent to begin with. Then on the flip side, we have Kageyama's diligent approach. He might not be as outwardly inspiring as Hinata, but don't mistake that for him loving volleyball any less. He's constantly pushing himself to improve, never letting himself take more than a brief moment to rest. He doesn't need Hinata's passion to keep moving. He can do it anyways. But even that dedication is challenged once a certain event happens at the end of Season 1, which takes their separate desires to improve and melds them together. Once they lose Tao Josai, they are united in a common feeling: frustration. The first ED of Season 2 reminds us of that stinging defeat. The manga-esque shots cut in among the team, Hinata and Kageyama's frustrations laid bare for the viewer. But as the ED shows, they start running again. They dust themselves off and get back to work. The defeat stings, but they recover. Defeat is a momentary pain, but it's one that cannot hold Karasuno down forever, as the team are all journeying and running. They were lost in the darkness of defeat, but they waste very little time before getting right back up and ascending to the top once more. The second ED of the second season replays that pain and frustration of Karasuno's loss in greater detail. We see more of Kageyama and Hinata shaken up by their defeat at the hands of Oikawa. But again, the next one we see, they get back up, dust off the pain, and courageously continue forward. This will be the last time they lose. This ED is probably the single most fearsome look that Karasuno has ever had, but it just shows their resolve as they go to stare down their opponent once again. They were stung by their defeat, but they return to the present as new people. The manga-esque aesthetic fades away to the present threat of Oikawa once again. Season 2 has my favorite pair of EDs in Haikyuu. I love seeing the team's pain at losing, but I also love the emphasis that they get back up. The loss hurts, but a loss is simply an opportunity to learn and grow. And the ADs spare no expense to show that Karasuno has grown from their loss. One of the main themes of Haikyuu in general is growth, especially from defeat. Losing is never the end. It's just a step along the journey. A loss is a chance to see your faults and work to overcome them. Hinata and Kageyama see the blind quick will not work forever, and both are invigorated with a desire to improve and overcome that fatal flaw that prevented the quick from reaching its full potential. Haikyuu places so much emphasis on defeat, acknowledging the pain that comes with it. It allows every losing team to have their moment to cry before they too continue on their journey. Even those that have worked diligently and as hard as possible every day will still feel the sting of defeat. Even those who put up the largest walls possible will still feel that sting. We all lose sometimes, and Haikyuu acknowledges the value in that. Defeat makes us stronger, even if there are a few tears shed along the way. Season 3's first ending, I have the least to say, since it is just a panning image across the screen, but I can still get something out of it, which is just the joy on every character's face. They're just living their best lives, and all playing volleyball and just being so happy about it, and I have nothing but respect and love for that. From the second ending of Season 3 onward, we turn our focus away from the players themselves. We see moments for Yachi, Sensei, Ukai, and the various people that help Karasuno reach the heights they have reached. We see glimpses of the players, but the support system that Karasuno has is just as important and passionate as the players. They take pride in the car rides home, the late nights, and school afternoons spent thinking about the team. So many of Haikyuu's best moments wouldn't have happened without the coaches around. Ukai is responsible for one of the most famous lines in the series. Takeda Sensei and Coach Wachijo have some of my favorite all-time moments in the series. The coaches and teachers are there to help Karasuno grow. The community is there to support Karasuno and uplift them when they need it the most. Whether that be by cheering for them or feeding them, it's all equally important. Haikyuu understands that every aspect of Karasuno, even beyond the team itself, is important to making that team what it is. Every individual matters, no matter how large or small their actual impact is. And lastly, for the final ending of Haikyuu that we currently have, at the time of writing at least, the movie will have some, and hopefully they're bangers. But the final ending we have right now, we look back at Haikyuu, or I guess kind of just volleyball as a sport. We barely focus on the actual act of playing volleyball, but instead focus on the people watching it. Whether it be sitting at home on your computer alongside your friends on their phone, or just on a random TV. The impetus of Haikyuu is from Hinata seeing the little giant on TV. Seeing these boys play volleyball both on and off the court is inspiring. Their drive and hunger to improve is infectious. I'd be lying if I hadn't wanted to pick up volleyball after finishing a season or a read-through of Haikyuu. I'm invested in the story and watching these characters go at it. I will be there day one when the new movie drops, and I will be crying the entire runtime. The characters of Haikyuu enthralled me. The winners, losers, one-off teams, every little side character is great. When I started watching Haikyuu in Season 2 when it was airing, I never expected to be crying over one-off teams, but I did several times. Furudate is just a master at making the audience care about every single player. It may just be high school volleyball at the end of the day, but for every player, every game means the world to them. Every loss is one lost chance to reach the top with their friends. Every team brings forth their own emotions into the match and will walk out with another set of emotions. That's just how a volleyball match goes. There will always be a winner, and there will always be a loser. But as the prior endings reminded us, defeat is only a step on the journey. It'll hurt, and that's okay. Let those feelings run through you. It's natural for defeat to hurt. But again, we must get up. Because after all, volleyball is a sport where you're always looking up.
タイムアウトはもう
下を向くんじゃねえバレーは常に上を向くスポーツだ